understand how to put my plug talk, plug talk, plug talk.
You know, obviously, to start off, Kevin Durant, he's a high-level scorer from wherever you can go, right? He's a great three-point shooter. He's one of the best mid-range shooters in the game, and he can attack the basket. Devin Booker is starting to become one of the better mid-range shooters, if not one of the top 3 in this league as well. And you know, those guys are going to be able to create for themselves and get you a bucket in crunch time when you really need it, right? Mm-hmm. And one of these main guys, Chris Paul, that we were talking about, is going to start to become that third, maybe fourth option. Give him his mid-range games. You're not going to have to count on him as much in the scoring department. He's going to be able to get guys involved. And then you got the cherry on top, Mr. DeAndre Ayton. For him, it's all about energy, man. It's all about energy. So, Chris, let's roll it back to the top and let me know what you're seeing here.
Yeah, man. And just maybe working from the back to the front, the one guy I do worry about is DeAndre Ayton, maybe getting a little bit lost in the mix here, struggling to find his place with Kevin Durant coming in and easily going to take over a lot of the scoring load. You're going to look for him and Booker to each put up 20 plus each night. I think I'm going to play this back one more time. One thing that is just ridiculous about Kevin Durant is his length, man. Like, he's a 7-footer standing up, but then his wingspan is like something like 7'6" or something like that. Just an absolute alien. And then, like you said, highlighting Devin Booker here, you see his ability to extend plays, the beautiful pump fake there, beautiful jump shot. You can't ask for anything more. Chris Paul, what did he put up? 19 assists the other night? I expect that we're only going to see more of that, as he just, how can you not, when you have Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, two of the best shooters in the league now on the same team. I mean, when you talk about super teams, this is it, man. I mean, say what you will about DeAndre Ayton. I think it could go one of two ways. He's either going to get lost and kind of have to reevaluate and find his place, or he's just going to keep rolling. And this is just going to become a crazy offensive machine where I hope that, you know, the defense is still there. Kevin Durant is also a pretty good defender. I was talking to Matt, my brother, who sometimes hops on these streams with us, and he was expressing some concerns about DeAndre Ayton's rebounding ability. And I share that concern. I mean, he does a lot of time watching the ball instead of going after it, and also not being as aggressive in the post still at times. But you see him here finding the lane, keeping his eye on the ball, and finishing strong. So really excited for what this group's going to be able to do. But it's also just very curious how it's all going to, you know, blend together. But I also have to say, I like how the bench is looking. That was a concern of mine earlier in the season, but with the additions of Terrence Ross and now the way that Torrey Craig and Josh Okogie are playing, things are looking up.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. I mean, you also forget about TJ Warren. I mean, he's an official bucket getter off of that second unit.
Bubble Mike.
And you forget about 44% three-point shooter Damian Lee. I mean, there's from where we started to where we are now, it really is just kind of a shock. But Chris, I did want to kind of roll back up to the top here again, and I might instruct you to come back a little bit more as I want to dive into these plays just a little bit. But go back to KD here. One of the things that we saw for this Phoenix Suns team to struggle while our injuries were out was just a necessary ball handler. You know, with Campaign and Chris Paul both out, I remember one of those games we were struggling to get past half court, and it's just something that you don't see from NBA teams. And now you're talking about a guy who's basically 6'11", who can create as a wing, almost like a two-guard, and you know, dribble and get to his spots wherever he is and attack and go up against a 7-footer like Miles Turner. I mean, I just can't wait to see kind of the defensive mismatches that come across from these guys attacking and getting to their spots. And one of those people who is going to benefit even more tremendously than where he's at now is Devin Booker. I mean, he's not going to be getting your best defender anymore, right? You know, they're going to have to match length with length in regards to KD, but, you know, say the way that we would put Mikal Bridges on a Luka Doncic or, you know, whatever other best guy, De'Aaron Fox, some of these like high profile scorers, they're going to have to put him on KD. So then who's going to guard Devin Booker, who's becoming one of the best ball handlers in the league and shot creators that we've seen in the past 5 years? I mean, his points per game could shoot up more than you could even imagine, with adding in Kevin Durant, who's probably going to average over 30 as well. But the most exciting piece about this, Chris, to me, is Chris Paul getting the load taken off of him. I mean, a 37-year-old guy who has struggled with injuries and has just been an incredible facilitator and a leader for this unit. And I praise what he's done these past 2.5 seasons for us. But you're going to be able to get him into situations where he's going to get to come off the ball, come off those screens like you're seeing with this rolling action. High ball, DeAndre Ayton setting that screen and getting him right to his money shot. And he's going to have a lot of open shots, a lot of open threes, and he's going to be able to cash them. And you're not going to have to play him as much. Whereas, second unit guy stints, you'd have to either keep Book out longer or you'd have to keep out Chris Paul. Now you can switch off Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. And then the last guy who I just pray for his sake continues his enormous boost that he's had over the past, I'd say 2 months, is DeAndre Ayton. I mean, I got to go back to what I said earlier. It's energy for him, right? It's energy and effort. You see here, the strip comes right off from the pressure that Mikal Bridges and Chris Paul is, and he just hits the gas. And when he hits the gas, you got to reward the big fella, because if he's seeing that reward at the end, he's going to bring it on the defensive end, which he's going to have to be a key anchor for us if we're going to make a title push. So I just can't believe it, Chris. And, these are highlight plays, obviously, but it's just something to keep in mind with the way that this floor is about to open up for this unit. And it's going to be crazy to see. It's going to take some time, like we've always said. And I think our last recap, when we were talking about we finally got Devin Booker back after the month. It's going to take some time for these guys to get together, learn each other's games a little bit more. Even though KD and Book played on the USA circuit on the, gold medal team in 2021, and I know KD played with Chris Paul as well, but give it some time and it's going to be scary. That's all I got to say.
And you got to think that other teams feel the same way, and other fan bases. They look at this Suns team and they're pissed. It's not fair, right? How are you gonna pair up Devin Booker with Kevin Durant and then also have Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton in the mix? I mean, the four of them are all-star potential without a doubt, and I'm even throwing DeAndre Ayton in that mix. I mean, Mike, you bring up a great point with Devin Booker always having the best defender on him, and now they can't not put their best defender on Kevin Durant. So what kind of world of opportunity is that going to open up for Devin Booker, man? I'm just chomping at the bit to see what this team is going to do when all of them are on the court. And if all of them can be healthy, there's absolutely no reason that we can make a deep run.